p.m. in the Charbock Center Conference Room. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Seoli? Here. Mrs. Foley?
Here.
Mr. Leidig?
Here.
Mr. Roberts?
Here.
Mrs. Pressler?
Here, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any committee reports? Wait, are we usually, yeah, committee reports? Don't we usually do the superintendent's report first? All right, we did have a curriculum committee meeting. We went over some of the test scores and the trends that have been going on in the district and discuss where they're going. There's some downward trends in some areas and some upward trends in others. So keeping in mind that test scores are just a snapshot in time and don't give us the whole picture. We did talk, and administration talked a little bit about some ideas and things that they're looking into and digging a little deeper into to find out maybe why and things that we can do to try to improve those. Kathleen, did you have more to add?
Just, was that where we talked about the changes in the AI, or was that here? Is that?
The AI policy that was
Yeah.
here, yeah,
That was
here.
handbook. Okay,
Yeah, that's the
yeah.
handbook last time.
I couldn't remember if Bob Guesswich had it there, but.
Yeah, and I think it was good conversation and we learned a lot and happy to know that we have a lot of tools and resources and we're monitoring everything and always moving forward and getting better. Is there anything else that I missed?
Oh, I thought you said that was a really good update.
Administrative, no other committee reports? Dr. Thompson, administrative update?
Thank you. Well, it's from my view, it's been an outstanding start to the school year. I would just like to take a minute to thank staff for all their hard work and getting the buildings ready and all the preparation that has taken place to ensure that we've had a smooth start. Kindergartners and preschoolers are still going through the screening process, so it looks like we're gonna have a full boat by Monday, and we'll be in full go. So again, appreciate it. It's been wonderful. I was a little worried on Sunday about we were having the monsoons and the rain, and it'd be a heck of a start on that Monday morning. And I got to tell you, the kids just look great. I mean, they all dressed and excited to go. It's just a very, very enjoyable moment on those first days of school. We had staff convocation on Wednesday, the 14th, along with a number of PD days. And then I would like to thank the government officials and the safety forces who were able to attend lunch with us and some volunteers. And then we had an outstanding keynote speaker, John Petz, who came in and inspired all of us with his message, along with great entertainment. The calendar is on its way. Mr. Kellogg is inquiring now where it is. It's kind of like watching Santa on Christmas Eve. When's it going to get here? We're gonna get that calendar to you guys real soon. And then we also Alan put together a nice publication over the summer, the State of the Schools publication. And so I hope folks get a chance to hang on to that wonderful publication and just read about all the wonderful accomplishments and things that we were able to do last year. Our CFO has a 2-page report on finances. It's pretty incredible. And so all the information you might be asking, I think before you ask questions, take a look at that document and it might get answered for you. So great job on that. As always, Safety Week is September 3rd through 5th this year. Safety is a top priority for us. And as we did last year, we're going to slow things down and we're going to prepare for those days that we hope we never have to experience. And the days start with the simple fire drills, and as the week goes on, it moves up into lockdowns and the ALICE training and the pieces that we do to try to ensure in one of these events, if it ever happened, that we're ready. And so this is a great opportunity during that week to talk to your kids about what we might do in an event if we get separated and all those type of things. And so that's coming real quickly down the road. And so we always want to mention that. The back to school bonfire, you may have seen it coming in. The ship is being built. will be this Thursday night. I believe it's an 8:30 start, when it's, right around there. And as usual, the band's going to be playing and we'll be having concessions and festivities and kids will be running all over the place and, exciting time. As we've already gotten a lot of our fall sports started. I know I've seen some big trophies coming. Our girls golf team brought home a nice trophy and some things are happening out there already. And then obviously, we open up, Friday night with our home, it's not a home opener, it's an away game, right next door, to that rival school. And so, lots of exciting things happening. And, with these wonderful events, at Perry, we would be remiss if we didn't take a few minutes to pay our respects for the tragic loss of two of our alumni. Jacob Ashton, a 2021 graduate, died on August 5th, 2024, on base at U.S. Army Fort Drum in New York. He was serving our country as a specialist for the Army. Skylar Davidson, a 2019 graduate of Perry, passed away on August 3rd. After graduation, Skylar enlisted in the U.S. Navy, learned about nuclear pieces, and upon returning home was active with the AM Vets Post 197. Our hearts and sympathy go out to the families and friends of these two alumni as they go through this difficult time. So please observe a moment of silence with me in honor of these two young men. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Is there any public participation? Yes.
Quick question, how many kindergartners did we end up having enrolled?
They're 88, 89 total as of yesterday.
89. And is the publication you mentioned, I'm sorry, going out with the calendar or is it
So
something
it's
separate?
been out since July.
Oh, okay,
So,
that's what, okay.
we have
I
plenty of
thought you were talking about
copies.
something new. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Board President's Report, item A, personnel approval of contract modification, Thompson. I move we amend the employment contract of Jack Thompson, Superintendent, as delineated in the attachment provided for the contract effective August 1st, 2023 through July 31st, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
Item B, personnel approval of contract modification, Capo. I move we amend the employment contract of Jennifer Capo, Chief Financial Officer, as delineated in the attachment provided for the contract effective September 1st, 2023 through July 31st, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Foley?
I'm
Yes.
sorry, is there any discussion? I forgot, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Is there any discussion on any of that? Okay, I'm sorry, now can we have a roll call, please? Sorry.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mrs. Truxger?
Yes.
And Mrs. Sealy?
Yes.
Consent agenda, item A. Sorry. The board is asked to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of July 30th, 2024. The board hereby waives public reading of these minutes and shall post them accordingly. Item B, donations. The board is asked to accept the following donations from the sources indicated for deposit into the account and/or department listed as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. Item C, the board is asked to authorize the Chief Financial Officer to dispose of the listed obsolete and/or outdated items that are no longer of use as recommended by the local superintendent and Chief Financial Officer. Item D, approval of signing bonus stipend. Pursuant to Article 7 of the OPC MOA approved November 8th, 2023, the board is asked to approve a signing bonus of $1,000 for the employees listed who satisfactorily completed 50 contracted days of work in the 23-24 school year as recommended by the local superintendent and the Chief Financial Officer. Do I have a motion to approve?
So
Second. Any discussion?
Quick question. So on the one on letter C, the person is listed twice. Is that accurate?
Which C is disposal.
No. No. I'm good.
Okay.
It'll be coming up on the next C. I turned too far ahead. The next letter C. Check it out. Letter C. Go ahead.
Can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mrs. Truster?
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy?
Yes.
And Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Superintendent's report, Dr. Hudson?
Thank you. Under personnel acceptance of resignation, the board is asked to accept the resignation from the individual listed from the position noted as recommended by the local superintendent. Note we do have one strike on one of those folks. B, personnel approval of appointment. The board is asked to approve the individuals noted for the position indicated pending successful completion of required funded paperwork, background check, and certification as recommended by the local superintendent. Under C, personnel approval appointment mentors. Board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the new to district mentor position at the rate of pay indicated for the 24-25 school year as recommended by the local superintendent and assistant superintendent. Under D, personnel approval appointment 21st century CCLC. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the PHS 21st century grant positions and the rate of pay indicated as recommended by the principal and local superintendent. Under E, personnel approval of appointment athletic supplementals. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individual listed for the 24-25 athletic supplemental position and rate of pay indicated pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. Under F, personnel approval appointment student worker. The board is asked to approve the employment of the students listed for the 24-25 position and rate of pay indicated, not to exceed 700 hours as recommended by the local superintendent and director of communications. G, 24-25 substitute rates of pay. The board is asked to adopt the updated substitute rates effective August 1st, 2024 as delineated unless otherwise dictated per current negotiated agreements and authorizes the chief financial officer to pay the higher daily substitute rate for the continuation of service for those substitute employees who continue working in 12-month classifications as recommended by the local superintendent and chief financial officer. H, personnel approval appointed substitutes. The board is asked to approve the individuals noted for the 24-25 daily substitute position listed pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification, background check as recommended by the local superintendent and assistant superintendent. I, personnel reemployment corrective action. The board is asked to approve the corrective action noted previously approved May 21st, 2024 as recommended by the local superintendent. And that's just the rate of pay change. J, resolution substitute teacher HP 33. The board is asked to approve the resolution regarding the employment of substitute teachers due to House Bill 33 being permanently extended as recommended by the local superintendent and assistant superintendent. This concludes my superintendent's report.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? So I think item C was the one where we have a double with Mrs. Kavasek, PHS Math and PHS Math / Financial Literacy. Are those two separate supplementals or is that?
Yes,
Okay.
two new teachers, new to district teachers.
No, it's the name under
No.
both is Bonnie Kavasek.
She
And it's a
is-
mentor. Oh, she's got two different. I hear what you're saying. Okay, so
She's
there's
a
two
mentor
different
to two
teachers she's
people.
mentoring.
Okay.
Okay. And then the substitute rates, that's in response to area substitutes and where the rates are around and our difficulty getting substitutes.
Yeah, there's, again, driven by the market, obviously, and we certainly appreciate the board support there. And so do our subs. And with HP 33 now, they don't have to have a bachelor's degree, so we're, looking at those certification requirements. But yeah, we're still behind on a couple districts in the area, but that puts us up equal to, I think, Mentor and some other areas that pull from the same subgroup. So that should keep us competitive.
Okay.
Thank you.
Quick question. Also on B. Rate of pay on that chart, most of them either say hour or day. There's two that don't have what delineated like as if it's a slight one-time stipend. And the other chart also has stipend next to it if there's a stipend or hourly. So are the two that are listed on there, the one's $1,000 and the other one is $422? Are those a one-time yearly stipend?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm looking at that list. I looked at it earlier and I was confused by the Letter H, approval of appointment of substitutes. Are any of these our direct employees already?
I'm not sure.
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I see,
like,
okay.
like say, there's a preschool ed associate who isn't here, doesn't work on Fridays, so she can sub as an ed associate on Fridays.
What about other people on here?
And there's one associate on there who does, will pull a second shift in the custodial out of her role. Who does
Okay.
do that.
There's a bus driver.
They sub in other areas then besides where they work?
Yeah.
Besides their primary role or job that they were hired for?
But obviously not during the same time.
Yeah, I just wanted, okay. let's do this.
And we have to keep an eye on that as far as overtime and anything like that that comes up with those kind of roles, don't we? So I assume there's a system in place for that.
Yeah, the few of them, like the preschool is a good one, because there's hours to give, without even coming close to
Okay.
overtime, but there are a few who, it's definitely something that we look at regularly.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, is there anything else? The roll call, please?
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mrs. Presker?
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
And Dr. Thompson, you have an addendum?
Yes, thank you. On the superintendent's addendum report, personnel, the board is asked to accept the retirement of the individual noted as recommended by the local superintendent and director of maintenance operations. Under B, personnel acceptance of resignation, the board is asked to accept the resignation of the individual listed for the supplemental position noted as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. Under C, personnel approval of change of position, the board is asked to approve the change of position for the individual listed pending successful completion of certification and training as recommended by the local superintendent. D, personnel approval of change in hours. The board is asked to approve the change in hours noted as recommended by the local superintendent and director of student services. And this is, why that was struck earlier in my regular agenda, because we're changing the hours and she's staying. E, personnel approval of appointment summer curriculum. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed to complete the summer curriculum work at the rate of pay of $36 per hour and for the maximum number of hours indicated as recommended by the local superintendent and assistant superintendent. F, personnel approval appointment athletic supplementals. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individual listed for the 24-25 athletic supplemental position and rate of pay indicated, pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. And G, approval of appointment substitutes. The board is asked to approve the individuals noted for the 24-25 daily substitute position listed, pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent and the assistant superintendent. This concludes my superintendent's addendum report.
Is there a motion to approve?
So, thanks.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mrs. Presker?
Yes. Mrs. Capo, Chief Financial Officer's report.
A, approval of financial reports. The board is asked to approve the financial reports from July 2024 as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. B, approval of expenditure TK elevator. The board is asked to approve the expenditure in the amount of $405,700 to TK elevator for PHS and PAC elevator modernization under the Sourcewell contract number 186033 as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer and Director of Maintenance and Operations. And C, acceptance of grant funds. The board is asked to accept the 9/11 Day of Service grant from Youth Service America in the amount of $1,000 and to approve the appropriations for such grant as recommended by the local superintendent and Chief Financial Officer. And this concludes my Chief Financial Officer's report.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, discussion? The elevator modernization, that's for which elevators now?
The high school and then the one at the PAC,
Okay, and we are already done.
the middle school last year, yeah. And it's part of the 10-year plan that,
Right, it's in Mr. Smith's.
yeah,
Okay,
presented.
roll call, please.
Mrs. Tresker,
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
Is there any unfinished business? I have a question about.
Unfinished business,
Yeah,
champion property?
yeah, is there any updates on that?
I haven't heard a word.
So. No, so there's been no updates, is it still in our name?
Yes.
So they haven't, and we're trying to get a hold of them to try to get it out of our name?
My last correspondence was with our lawyer, who was trying to reach their lawyer, and I haven't heard back from them.
Is the village's piece of the property?
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still in our name, but there's a purchase agreement in place, so I just wasn't sure where that stood right now.
Our name is actually on that purchase agreement.
Okay, so we just don't know, no updates. Okay, if anything happens with that. Any new business? Correspondence and announcements?
Well, actually, what about the house?
Oh, are there any updates with the house flip? Did we
Good job, Jesse.
sell it?
I knew I could count on you.
Yeah. Do you want to provide an update or?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we met with Ryan, Lou, Jen, and Dr. Thompson about a week ago. Our plan is to work on little projects on the house while we look for another house.
Okay.
When we find that other house, hopefully we get board approval to move forward on that purchase and then almost simultaneously put up the house through the auction process so that we don't have a gap in our students being able to work in an actual lab site on a house and keep them out of the, working in a lab at the school.
Okay.
So.
And there's enough updates and things to do with that still. I mean, I know at one point we had talked about possibly putting a deck on the back and things like that so the kids can stay
That'll be the
active.
first project, and then Ryan and I will work on other things that are feasible that make sense to upgrade the house without getting in overhead with money wise.
Okay.
I know we tried to stay in Perry when we purchased, and I know you guys have actively been looking, housing market is what it is right now. But I know a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, maybe I was driving down Middle Ridge, there was something on Middle Ridge, technically in Madison, just across the town line, which was actually closer to our school than the last house we had, than one of the houses we had. So in terms of looking in like neighboring communities like Madison and on the Painesville border, because obviously we go as far as Canyon Ridge, there's side streets and back roads over there off 84 and the whole way off Route 20 all along there. Are we extending our search beyond technically Perry, beyond the 44081 zip code?
Would you like us to?
I mean,
I think that
it's technically right. It's no different than a kid going down to a career center.
We run a bus
Right.
anyway.
Right.
We run a bus.
We run a bus anyways.
And it's not far.
I
I think
mean-
it's reasonable to, because how difficult as the market is to find.
It's like buying a classroom, right? We kind of need it.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely extend your reach if you can.
Yeah, within reason. I mean, obviously the kids need to get there and get back to school in time, but I don't think we're gonna go a half an hour, 40 minutes away. It's a good idea, Tiffany.
I'll do it.
Okay, is there anything else? Communications. The district will be closed September 2nd, 2024 for Labor Day. The next regular Board of Education meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 17th, 2024 at 5:45 PM in the Tarbuck Center Conference Room. Is there any public participation? Okay, then pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 12122G1, I hereby move that the board adjourn to executive session for the purpose of considering the discipline of a public employee of the school district, and G5, to discuss matters required to be kept confidential by state and federal law. Is there a second?
So, absolutely.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Seoli,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mrs. Tresker.
Yes, and we won't be having any more business after executive session.